Okay. Should be all good. Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast and another event recap video where we're going to go through all the games that we had, talk about the list, our opponents' list, and basically just try and reenact every battle for you so you can see some tactics that get used. And yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy yourself today. Let me know if the volume is all good and that you can all hear me nice and clear in the chat. How is everyone doing as well at the same time? Sorry, it's a few minutes late there. Just last minute things trying to get sorted. But yeah, it's good to see some people already in chat, and I hope we'll sort of enjoy this one. But yeah, how is everyone doing? Hopefully, like I said, all the volume is good on here. This has been an interesting little event. Again, it's only a little RTT. We did manage to win it, but we are trying some things that I normally would never allow myself to try, which is mainly going to be the allies. So we'll get onto that just in a second. For that, let's get straight into it. For those who are already here. So this is the list that I ran at this event. Hello, Joe. I wonder if we're going to be talking about you at all. So this is the list that we ran. Now, some years that are maybe more observant have noticed this is very, very similar to the list that was presented and created by Grant Kaufman and Daniel, I think it's Reedhouse or Redhassy, I can't remember how it's pronounced, which was on one of the latest episodes of our Disgustingly Resilient podcast. I think it's the literal latest episode. It was created by them in America. One of them managed to go 6-0, one of them managed to go 6-1 with it, but it's a very, very strong looking list. Does make good use of allies, so as you can see there, we've got ROTIGUS and Triple Brigands, but at the same time, it's kind of coming to a point where I'm kind of even having to accept that maybe Death Guard aren't doing too hot right now, and that, I'm just going to list down a second, and that maybe, you know, looking at allies fans is the correct thing. When I was interviewing them, we were talking about the list, so I was like, okay, cool, this sounds like a pretty good list. I kind of like how it sounds to play. So I thought to myself, well, pure Death Guard at the moment, kind of struggling. Maybe we just bite the bullet, accept it, and we become embrace a little bit of our inner Wardog Will and a little bit of Dave recently, and try out some Knights. And also, while we're committing to it, let's try out ROTIGUS at the same time and basically just take their list. There is a small change that I went on the Plague Marines. I went for my usual Spews and Melter combo rather than pure melee. And then in the Bloat Drones, they go for, I think it's 3 Flesh Mowers, or maybe it's 2 and 1. But I went for 2 Spitters and 1 Mower. The main reason was because they're just the models I have available. I don't actually own 3 Mowers, I only own 1 Mower. I've never really used Mowers too much. But I decided, hey, you know what, let's add in all the Mowers on the list, and why not, let's give it a proper whirl. So that, but yeah, part of that, it's pretty much 1 for 1, the exact same list that those guys created. So all credit obviously goes to them there, not myself on this one. But I thought, hey, let's give it a whirl. Because as some of you may know, Death Guard at the moment is kind of struggling. Now, that being said, I don't know if any of you keep up with Meta Monday or things like that. We had a really weirdly good week for Death Guard. Unfortunately, a couple, well, not unfortunately, but like, well done to the Death Guard players. We had quite a lot of 4 and 1s, but again, as I've said in the previous episode, we're hitting that 4 and 1. Like, there is that wall that keeps coming in. So trying to break through that wall is still going to be a nightmare. We're going to look at those lists and how they did later on, obviously in the week. Probably try and do a video. I do apologise. This week has been not the most fun for me. Our boiler has broken, so it's not been a great week for getting content out. And obviously with London around the corner now, I'm like, oh shit, can I afford that and boilers? I'll try my best to make it work, because I don't want to not go London, obviously. But unfortunately, boilers are kind of necessary, unfortunately. Hot water kind of needed. As much as we like to play the Stinky Marines, I don't want to be the real-life Stinky Marine. I like showers. I don't want to be walking around smelling like the army I play, unfortunately. But hey, it is what it is. Just anyone in chat can just quickly just double check my volume's okay. I'm all hearing me nice and clear. Hopefully that is the case. My chat's a little delayed on my screen, and I'm hoping it picks up a little bit because it's been a bit of a pain at the moment, but it should be fine. So yeah, so this event was hosted at Element Games. We're going to be using Games Workshop terrain. Yeah, I know, I'm a traitor, Nazca. So, funnily enough, on that topic, Nazca, there is a pure Death Guard list that's being played by Liam VSL, who's one of the best players in the world. The list itself is good. The problem I have with it is I am not good at that kind of list. So, anyone that doesn't know the Liam list, it's something like triple Predator, triple Plague Burst Crawler, triple Bloat Drone Mortarian, and then like one full Plague Marine brick, I think it is. The problem is I'm not very good at vehicle spam use. My movement with vehicles is not as good as it is with infantry, and it's also kind of pressurey, skewy kind of list. And again, those kind of lists are not my kind of list. So it's a very good list, but I don't think I can play it well. And that's why when I was looking at this list, I actually thought this... I was talking about the shower. That's also true, yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry to inform you, I do actually shower. I know that is a heresy for a Plague Marine, but, you know, it is what it is. I have to shower. Or my boss will fire me. So, in chat, we've got Triple Mower is the preferred. Basically, when it comes to mowers and spitters, I still believe they're a little bit more interchangeable. Like, I don't think there's... And the thing is with Bloat Drone, I don't think there is generically a wrong decision. The reason they like mowers is because the damage 2 can scare people. It has lethal hits, which means you don't run up against a target you're ever completely useless against. Like, you have the spitters and you come across, like, a tank. It's like, cool, I wound you on, like, 6s and, like, that's it. Like, at the end. You're not really able to scratch it much, whereas the mowers with the damage 2 and the lethal hits can still potentially swing up. I mean, you're going to need luck to spike, but the potential is there, whereas other things it's not. Also, Marine players are starting to learn that our flamers are scary, but not super scary, especially when it's only 2d6. The damage 1 is the letdown bit, whereas if they charge you with like 5 Assault Intercessors in Blood Angels and they don't kill you and you live on like a single wound, the Flesh Mower genuinely has potential at AP2 because of -1 save contagion to potentially kill the entire squad back, or at least 4 of them. Whereas the Flamers might take 2 turns to 2 or 3 turns potentially, because you can always also low roll. That's the problem with the... You get the 10 consistent melee attacks all the time with the Flesh Mower. The Spitters can, 2d6. We've all rolled a double 1 when we needed a double 6. And we've also rolled the double 6 when we only needed to kill like 1 cultist. So it's one of those. I don't think there's a bad option for Pathetic Bloat Drones. I think it's just a question of what do you want it in your list to do. And to be honest, Flesh Mowers seem to provoke a really scary reaction when you say the words 10 attacks. People are like, ooh, that needs to die, and then they'll expose like ridiculous amounts of stuff to try and kill that Bloat Drone when they really didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, so going back to the original point, the VSL list looks really good. It doesn't look like it's my thing to play, and we talk a lot on this channel how about meta lists and net lists are great and like they're good for looking at and getting ideas, but you as a player will have your own individual playstyle. I know mine, Will knows his, Death Guard Dave knows his, and we're all different. I can't do vehicle skew. I'm very bad at it. You can give me the best Death Guard list, and if it is vehicle skew, I will fuck it up. I just don't like the movement of it. I don't like the fact I have to can't go through walls. I'm much more of an infantry toolbox player. This list plays a bit more like I used to play. So one thing we're going to see in the games coming up is this list really likes its go turn. And when I used to play my list with like triple rhinos with all Plague Marines in and stuff like that, it was always about the go turn. And recently, the go turn doesn't really work in the list I've been playing. But in this list with the Brigands and the ROTIGUS, the go turn is back. And now in the VSL list, there's not so much a go turn, it's more go, go, go from the start. Pressure your opponent with all the hulls, you skew into like your armor, it's hard for them to kill you, Mortarians running around. But it doesn't have the go back-breaking turn, and it has to like play aggressively and do things, and it's not my kind of thing, especially with vehicle movement. I'm just not good at it, I'll straight up admit. So this list seemed more interesting to me personally. I wanted to play this list. This one got me most excited, so we took it to this event. So we come to our event, we get our pairings the day before. Now this was only a small event. I think it was like 18 players or so. I was taking some new fellas from the local shop to me, who going to their first ever event. He was playing Tyranids and he managed to get himself a win, so well done to Cam on that one. But for me, this isn't about winning an event. This isn't about going and just stomping people. This for me is I need to get some practice in this list, and this is 3 games in a day. I have not played this list before at all. I've not used Wardogs at all. I've used ROTIGUS once at like a meme event when you guys built me a like stupid list. So this event for me was 3 games of learning to play this list and sort of getting used to this list. So the first game we get is actually up in the mirror match against Joseph Reed, who's in the chat, and he's one of our members as well, which is quite funny to be fair. So great start to the event, wanting to get some practice, and we run into the mirror match. Not only do we run into the mirror match, he also has a great unclean one, but not ROTIGUS, just a normal great unclean one. And he's also got Mortarion, and if anyone doesn't know, Mortarion is pretty grim in the mirror match because Mortarion turns off the Death Guard army rule. I can't reduce your save and I can't reduce your toughness while you're near Mortarion. So pain in the ass thing to do with that. And obviously I can't -1 damage, I can't -1 to hit, anything like that. But joining Mortarion, we've got Typhus, who went solo. He has a lot of contagion with deadly pathogen, so that's the extra attack, extra strength, and a lot of virulence as well. They're going to be joining a large brick of Death Shroud Terminators and a smaller brick of Death Shroud Terminators. 2 squads of cultists like running around scoring stuff. We've got 2 Predator Destructors with las cannons, 2 Plague Burst Crawls, one of them has entropies, one of them has Plague Spitters. Then we have 1 big unit of 6 Nurglings, 1 small unit of 3 Nurglings, and a great unclean one with a Plague Flail and a Greater Bile Sword. This terrain is something, and I think Joseph would agree with me here. This terrain was interesting. So an interesting thing to know is this event organizer has ruled all the windows. So here, they're all open, all of them. So the second you step on any of this, you're getting shot from anything, from anywhere, over here. You're getting shot from absolutely every angle the millisecond you touch on terrain. Now, this deployment was tipping point, so that is where you have the sort of like more forward deployment on one half, and then it comes back, and you've got like this much deployment over here, so less on one side, and the vice versa to your opponent. Now, the first mission was is it priority targets? The one with the disappearing objectives, the extremely supply drop. That's it. The extremely annoying one. So we have an objective, obviously center. Our home one is like on this piece of terrain here. So I have one here, and he has one up here, and the other 2 are sort of on the center, but the one on the left is slightly pivoted up towards his end here, and the one on the right is slightly pivoted towards mine. So on turn 3, one of these objectives is going to disappear. On turn 4, the second objective is going to disappear, and on turn 5, we're left with a singular objective, which is going to be worth a lot of points. So this being the Death Guard mirror, I do agree, Bakuba. I do agree. Not the greatest decision in the world. The reason was that they have some cool terrain. They've gone for the looks on the terrain. They made like Eldar terrain and stuff, but because it's all different, so some tables have a lot of forest, some tables have like Eldar terrain. They all use the same like base template, but because they can't basically effectively just put windows in every map, there's like a city map which does have windows. They decided that they're just going to open them up for all the maps to try and keep it fair, so you don't have someone going, oh, I only lost because I got the terrain with no windows, and someone going, oh, I only won because I got the terrain with windows. So they were just like, fuck it, no windows. So every window is open, everything exists. So a little bit wild. So yeah, I think we basically, we both went tactical. Fixed is kind of just dead in general. You don't really ever take fixed in prior. It's just not worth it. So we're both going tactical, and obviously we're declaring our reserves. So in this game, we both put our fat boys in reserves, as per usual. Both of his Death Shroud Terminators. Oh, you guys can't see that. I'm going to keep his up there then. Both of his Death Shroud Terminators are going to go into reserves as well. Typhus as well is going to go into reserves for him. And the fat boy. So everything else is on the table for himself. So they're on the table. And for me, I've got my Death Shroud in reserves. I have my Fat Man in reserves. And I think that was it. I think everything else for me was on the table. Oh, it was battle line. The special rule was battle line can come in from reserves turn 1. So I put a Brigand in reserves because Brigand's a battle line because reasons. So, if he misdeploys a Predator, leaves a gap, I'm just going to go, hello, turn one Brigand, have a melter shot, bang, gone. Surprisingly, he didn't fall for it. But, you know, it can come on turn 1 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. My opponent didn't have Battle Line to make use of this, so he could do it with Nurglings, but I don't think he really wanted to put them in reserves because they have Deep Strike anyway. So we started deploying. So I just put Cultists on home objective. I'm not really going to be fussed about trying to get an early contagion. I don't have PVC, so I have no indirect. I mean, I have Havoc launchers, but the Havoc launcher is not exactly going to do much. So they're just going to hold home for this game and try and screen stuff out. My opponent puts down a Predator. I think the Predator goes just up here. So he's worried if he puts it here, obviously, then I could appear here with a turn 1 reserve, so I turn 1 pop it. So he just plays a bit safer and puts him just nicely, safely away over there, which is a good shout for him. So his Predator's going to be up there. Then I start putting a Bloat Drone. So I'm on the line here. The reason being that there is no realistic angle he can get. The only angle he could get would be to like get a Predator or PVC and drive it like to here. But I don't think he couldn't even reach that turn 1. So this Bloat Drone is safe and it can basically just come over here, do things, just kind of exist around this area. So we have a Bloat Drone down here, living its best life. Opponent goes and drops a Plague Burst Crawler at the Macaroni there. So he's got PBC basically just chilling back there. That's the entropy cannon one, so again it can come out this way. It could potentially come out this way. The terrain is quite easy to drive over on this event. So like this could easily like go like this or like this. It's quite easy to do. So that fella just goes there, and then we just continue dropping stuff. So I go into a Bloat Drone to back this one up over here. So we've got 2 of those there. Opponent puts down a big unit of... Oh, where's that unit? Rest in peace, Nurgling unit. You have disappeared into the void. So we'll get a small one. His small unit of Nurglings come over here. Basically just wanting to... Oh, sorry, over here. And those guys are just going to basically just stop me infiltrating onto this terrain here. Stop me getting any cultists that can scout onto it as well. He puts a unit of cultists... Oh, this needs to go back. Layer. Send to back. And then... Apologies, guys. Layer, send to back. I always do that every time. There you go. Puts a unit of cultists up here on the lines because they can just sort of, you know, come against the wall here, which is fine. Puts another unit of cultists over here, which again can also either scout back inside there if they get second, or just come up to the wall here. So they're also just doing fine. Plague Burst Crawler with the Spitters, and here again he has nothing to fear from me. I have no long range anti-tank really at all. I mean, I have 24-inch range on Brigands and that's it, and I'm definitely not getting into range of these things turn 1. So I have the 10-man Plague Marine bus chilling down here. Again, there's no shooting angles you can get here. It's just behind this just a bit. This thing can't reach all the way over here. We got the Plague bus itself just chilling. So this is the double Plague caster bus down here. We drop our Nurglings basically. Just all we care about is behind this wall, and we just want to make sure these cultists, because like strung out a bit, can't do the turn 1 scout onto the central objective and sticky it pre-game. So we're just going to deny that scout move here with some Nurglings. So he's got Nurglings there, I've got Nurglings there. His other unit of Nurglings, the large one, comes in over here to stop me doing any shenanigans like that. Then he goes, his second Predator sits behind here. Again, this Predator can touch onto this at any time. See all the way down here, shoot in here. Or it could drive to here and shoot down here. So it's a good spot for it to be. It's also going to be holding his home objective there. And then the big man himself sort of just plops down with his boys. Again, there's nothing really to scare it turn 1 shooting wise. So he's just going to exist there and have a good time. I bring a Bloat Drone to back up my Rhino over here. Again, just hoping to get behind this wall and do things. And then we go 1 Brigand behind here. And then we go 2nd Brigand just behind here. So this one can either go that way or commit this way. Or again, move straight through because this thing isn't here. It's more like that. But it's you know, it's pretty easy to move over to this terrain. It's just the way this event is. And these are obviously all in reserves. And they're in our Rhinos at the top. So, we're both again playing tactical. So let me just find where my bloody phone's at, and I can sort of go through the objective of each mission. I've left it in the other room. Fantastic. I'll grab that in a second. But initial game plan here, thoughts in my head are, well, I mean, we're going to find out. We find out the objectives as well, which disappear. So we do find out that this objective on the right is going to disappear first. The objective in the middle is going to disappear second, and the objective on the left is the one that's going to be left at the end of the game. So my big concern straight up is if Morty goes here. If Morty gets there, I am just not going to be able to fight that. Morty's turning off all my modifiers. He's going to... I can't reduce his save, I can't reduce his toughness. I need to keep Mortarion away from the final point. So I'm like, okay, I need to try and keep Morty over this side somehow. Like, try and keep him busy over here. And then I'm going to try and, like, pressure this with all the Wardogs and kill this off. And use the 10-man Plague Marine Brick to basically try and make sure this over here is mine. So that was sort of like the rough game plan going into it. It's like, okay, cool, we keep Morty over here. We try and have a big go turn, maybe kill, like, his tanks, take away his fire support. And at the end of it, I'm happy if there's just, like, a 6-man Death Shroud somewhere that we can start shooting at. And we're going to ignore Morty all game. I'm not even going to try and kill Morty. I don't think... I could obviously get lucky and get some melter shots and they just connect and go through and we kill Morty that way. But there's also a chance that we just, you know, we whiff it real hard and then Morty goes and kills, like, 2 Wardogs. So we're going to just decide to ignore Mortari in this game. So scouts go off. I'm just going to, like, scout this squad just to be on the objective. These guys scout forward here. These guys scout forward here. Obviously can't come any closer because of the Nurglings. That's about all there is there. Now, I'm just going to quickly grab my phone so I can get the objectives up. So give me 2 seconds. I'll be 1 second. I got it. There you go. Okay. So, you have to apologise. My memory is not too bad, but remembering till the Tuesday just gone is quite a bit. So there we go. So I believe I think I went first on this one, didn't I? Yeah, I went first on this one, which is not good. You don't want to be first on this mission because obviously the second player gets to score at the end of the game, so they can just wait and react. So Demon Luster, I thought Morty can't ignore save modifiers. Saving throw is different to a saving characteristic. You've clocked it on yourself there, mate. But yeah, that's why you can, it's basically, that caveat is only there so Mortarion can't ignore AP. Because that'd be pretty stupid if you have a 2-up save and ignored all AP. So that you can basically you still can't reduce his base characteristic, but he can't ignore any modifiers to the dice roll, which is AP. So I went first. I get a whopping cleanse and a bring it down, which is not great. A cleanse and a bring it down. So what we do is we're just going to bring up our bloat drone onto here, because it has to touch the terrain. So cleanse. We're just going to give up cleanse on that one. These Nurglings are touching the terrain. Plague Bus just drives around to here. The idea of Plague Bus and the Sprayer Drone are just going to kill Nurglings. The Fleshmaw Drone is going to do a cleanse. I'm not going to overextend and go for double cleanse because I'm just going to get killed for it. I'll take my 2 points and that's it. And bring it down is just not happening turn 1. I could maybe bring in a Brigand here and shoot that at 24 inches. I'd say it doesn't kill it, and then I die. So not worth. So again, we're just going to look at that as a free command point. So we move our Brigands around a bit here. So we just make sure we're just checking out angles so this thing can't drive out and get shots. So we're always just checking out angles basically. This Rhino drives up to the wall here, accompanied with the bloat drone. Again, we're just checking out angles. This guy can't get out here in 1 turn. This guy can't get a shot. He can't drive this way and get a shot as well because of this corner here. So we're okay on that one. Brigands sort of like just like kind of shuffle around a little bit. We go to like here, so he can't get a shot, And we bring in the second Brigand from reserves turn 1. Again, we can't get shot from any angle here. Like he can't come that way because I've put it right against this wall. So we're basically playing safe. Not much is going to happen. I'm barely going to kill anything. Plague Bus shoots at the Nurgling 3-man Nurgling unit here. You can imagine what that does to some Nurglings and absolutely eviscerates them. So they all die. And my Nurglings run through this wall and they charge some cultists. I'm not trying to kill them. I mean, they've had Havoc launchers put into them as well. But surprisingly, doesn't do much. The Nurglings just there to basically try and stop this unit if this comes a bit closer. I just want to stop this unit being able to do action. So if he gets a first turn, do an action on the middle, the cultist can't just come out. I would rather him have to commit something like this guy or something big. So we're like, okay, no, we're just going to leave that for now. So we just bring our cultists in. We get into close combat with these cultists. We kill like 3 of them. And then the cultists like kill like two bases back. But again, only need one base to survive. They're going to die anyway. Happy with that. So, we're okay with that. We're okay, cool. Not too bad. You know, worse things have happened. So these cultists just pile onto the thing, the terrain as well. We consolidate. Now, we take our 2 points on cleanse and we get rid of bring it down. It's better to get the command point. I could keep it for later, but I'd rather just have the command point. Thank you very much to Telephotomac. Thank you for the congrats, mate. Appreciate it. So, goes into Jones' first turn. He does get established locus, which means he has to do something in the middle here. So now we're like, okay, this is actually interesting because now he can't do it with the colour, so it's done exactly what we want. So this Plague Burst Crawler drives up and has to do establish locus. So this thing isn't shooting. So bonus, good for us. Happy days. He also drew Sabotage. Sabotage being the stupidest written secondary in the game. So guess what? These cultists literally tow into this corner and Sabotage. And that's it, because it's technically, the terrain's technically not in his deployment zone, and his unit just has to tow into the corner of it, so they start sabotaging. So he gets both of them. Nothing I can really do about that. This Predator sort of comes to here. This Predator comes on to here. He wants to shoot these bloat drones down here. Mortarion comes forward as well. And this Plague Burst Crawler sort of comes this way, just going to shoot some mortars. Now these Nurglings move forward. They're going to basically just wall me in on these guys here. So he is to try and kill these bloat drones because, again, if they stay alive, I'm going to hold primary. So the Predator shoots at this guy. I do pop -1 to hit. I think Mortarion just couldn't get into range of this guy. We do check it and ask him, and it's not in range. So I do pop -1 to hit because, you know, if it survives, it's quite big for me. And this bloat drone actually to get shot by the las cannons, which both whiff because Predators. The auto cannon does like 6 damage. Then Mortarion shoots, does like another 1 damage to it. The mortar over here tries to finish it off. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to. So this guy actually survives, which is pretty good for us. The Mortarion then, obviously, you know, Nurglings just get absolutely evaporated over here. So they die. And then these Nurglings charge into this Rhino and this Blood Drone, basically just looking to create a better wall. So the reason that Morty couldn't do it is he was just too far away to do established locus at this point. Because his PVC was like here and he was just a bit back. This just managed to get in range with a 10-inch move. Unfortunately, Mortarion couldn't. But yeah, there is potentially that he could have swapped around the positioning. But yeah, Morty wasn't in range to do it this turn. That's why he wasn't doing it. So, yeah, not too much happening at this point. The cultist is obviously just on here. Everyone's kind of just staging. But he does get some good points. He gets a 2 for established locus and a 3 on sabotage. Let's have a quick drink, so before it gets dry. So turn 2, I'm like, is this the go turn? Is this the go turn? No, this is still not the go turn. It's what we want to do is we want to try and this guy's more like that. I drove straight over the terrain to here. This thing here is annoying. It's more like that in it. Yes, out there. But there's not enough exposed for the go turn yet. So I'm like, okay, let's try and see what we need to do. So I need to kill this PBC to put him behind a turn on primary. Nothing else is touching primary over here. The cultist is doing sabotage. If I can stop that, that's pretty good, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. And I hold primary over here, so I'm quite happy bunny. So I get, for my secondaries, behind enemy lines and recover assets. So what I do is I drive this bloat drone into this corner here, hiding behind the terrain, and he starts to recover assets. Oh no, sorry, actually, I move and advance him to get behind enemy lines because their line is here. And I ask him to do what Overwatch. He's debating it's on 2 wounds, and obviously behind enemy lines is quite a good amount of points. Decides against it though, because I could, if I wanted to, if he Overwatched that, I could then get the 10 Plague Marines out. They can then walk up to this PBC that has the flamers without worry of being Overwatched, and they can then melt a gunnet grenade it and do whatever they need to do. So he lets that go, so I'm happy. This one here flies into this corner. Plague Bust sort of just chills out a bit. Plague Bust moves forward to here, actually, moves 12. Just want to get within 12 of this PBC, because he's basically going to try and fire away with those flamers and see what we can do. This Brigand walks around here to get the melter range on that. Not melter range, but the thermal spear can shoot range. So it's not in melter range, it's got the thermal spear though, can get in range of that. This bloat drone flies over here. This is actually close to this predator because I'm basically wanting to. I say to him, I'm going to try and charge this predator to tie it up so you can't next turn come and get an angle because he can't fall back and shoot. This brigand sort of comes out a bit more because again I'm hoping to tie this thing up. This brigand also exposes a little bit more. Nothing too much. It's more like that. Again, we're still dodging this angle up here. We don't want to get shot by this guy. We're also hoping to give this guy a bit more of a headache in a second. Cultists just spread out along the back. So I'm like, okay, right. We need to make sure Mortarion doesn't start doing this down here. We don't want that. So I need him, and I also want these predators not shooting the brigands. So I'm like, okay, what's the best thing I can do right now? I'm going to drop ROTIGUS right here. I bring in ROTIGUS right here. The reason being that is that I want to threaten his home objective. Also, ROTIGUS is just a big fat boy. So he's going to have a straight walk there. He can go punch a predator, take the home objective. And cultists are not going to kill him, definitely. A single predator is not going to kill him. And also, it's giving this predator a nightmare. Now it's like, oh god, I've got a 2-wound bloat drone. This thing's recovering assets, though, which needs killing. Oh, my cultist back here are recovering assets as well. This guy needs shooting, but one predator's not going to kill him. Do I bring this guy over and commit to it? Or no, probably going to have to send Mortarion over. So it's a distraction ROTIGUS at this point. My idea is, okay, you come and, you know, fight ROTIGUS over here. He halves OC, can't obviously half Mortarions, unfortunately. But he's just there to be a big distraction. So he fires in and he does kill all the cultists with his flamer because, you know, it's actually a pretty good flamer, apparently. I think the Havoc launchers maybe chip off the last guy or two. This unit gets shot to pieces by fall back my rhino, just 1 inch. All these brigands shoot into these fellas here, these Nurglings. We drop it down to like a 1.5 man unit. I'm pretty sure it's like just tiny at this point. Now, the Plague Bus shoots into the Plague Bus crawler and manages to take something like, I think he takes off like 8 damage off it. It's pretty wild. 5s and 6s just, you know, wounding it. Plus the AP on it. It's on a 4-up save. It took a bit of damage from that, but then this brigand here managed to land a thermal spear. The invuln got failed, and I did manage to roll the 6 on the damage, and we do get a little lucky, and we actually managed to pick up this. PBC, which is, you know, quite nice. So we're quite happy that the Gatling cannon took like 2 wounds off as well, because the Gatling cannon can weirdly chip damage. Now, I was hoping to have killed this unit of Nurglings fully because I wanted to have the extra AP versus this thing, but unfortunately was not the case because, you know, damn fucking Nurglings. But we do manage to kill PBC, so we do deny primary for a turn. We get this here. But that's all we do this turn. He rapid ingresses the 3-man with a lot of contagion next to his predator. Smart choice because now I can't charge that. If I charge that, he heroic interventions, kills that, and then he's free in his next turn to walk off over here and do things over here. So smart choice on his point. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to give him the free movement. I'm not going to risk just getting myself killed. I'm going to try and charge the cultists instead because that way, again, same reason we charged me in the first point. If I charge them, they can't then run off and do containment, or they can't run off and, you know, score somewhere else easily. Any actions, they can't cleanse, stuff like that. Stops them doing stuff. Unfortunately, we do fail the charge. I don't reroll it because it's not mega important. It is what it is. So, comes into my opponent's turn now. So, at the end of my turn, I did manage to score a behind enemy lines because this bloat drone here. Well done, dude. And we are in his deployment zone as well. Nice. So, one guy for behind. And then we also get recover assets started on this bloat drone and these cultists back here. So, it's going to be quite hard for him to kill those. So, opponent's turn 2, he gets extend battle lines and containment. So, not bad at all. So basically, control an objective in no man's land and home, and containment is do 2 actions on board edges that are not in your deployment zone. So unfortunately, cultists can just scoot this way and do containment on the way here, which is, you know, what I didn't want to happen. This predator drives onto this terrain here, and these these Death Shroud move up. Mortarion has to come and deal with ROTIGUS. He's the only thing that potentially can. And this predator comes to here to get in range of Mortarion aura, and so it can shoot at this guy and try and kill this 2-in bloat drone. Or it's going to try and shoot down at this brigand here. So he's got 2 predators that are going to shoot down at this brigand here, potentially. This PBC moves up with its entry cannons to here. Again, trying to get a bead on this brigand. So this brigand's going to take a bit of pounding. But again, this bloat drone exists. We've still got our 10-man in this rhino here. he drops in Typhus back here. Typhus is just going to do containment, and he also wants the mortal wounds to go into this bloat drone here. Sorry, I'm blocking Typhus. I'll move myself a bit smaller. There you go. The visuals all good for everyone. Can clearly tell what's going on. Again, just let me know if you need me to clarify anything that's happening right now. But yeah, so our opponent has done this, okay? So opponents come over here, here, here. Now, in my head, I'm like, okay, next turn, he's exposed a lot of stuff. So next turn, I want to be my go turn. So this thing, you're not always thinking in the game on the turn that you're going to have your go turn. Sometimes you need to think, is it the turn before? So in his turn, I'm like, is the next turn the go turn? I'm like, yes. Next turn is the go turn. Next turn decides this game. So I actually rapid ingress my 6-man behind this wall and on the objective. So I'm going to be able to sticky this now. Then, because it's going to, obviously, they survive. It becomes my command phase, gets stickied. And that means I can then move up here, charge stuff, and still hold the center. So we're going to get some primary as well. So I'm like, cool. Those guys are going to come in, and next turn I'm going to fully commit to this. So Typhus does his thing, does like 2 mortals there. This guy, the Predator, shoots and gets this bloat drone under 2 wounds as well, because he wanted to try and stop recover assets, trying to stop the scoring. Mortarian's shooting, unfortunately, does not manage to finish off the bloat drone. So this bloat drone also lives. So now I've got 2 extremely low wounded bloat drones here, but hey, they're still you know, alive and doing well. This Predator, and this PBC shoot into this Brigand here, and they bring it down to 3 wounds. But they don't kill it. I got lucky on one of my invuns. So I'm okay with that. That's I mean, you know, quite lucky at this point to have them still alive there. It's like, okay, quite lucky, probably should be dead. Now he does, so that's all of his shooting basically done. He goes for the charges, so he wanted to potentially get Mortarian into like here and tag both ROTIGUS and the bloat drone, because Morty's OC6, ROTIGUS is OC5, and I can't half him, so he would take the objective, and he was hoping that he could melee this drone and deny recover assets. But we did measure it out, and he'd need like an 11 on the charge, so he took the safer and smarter play and just went into ROTIGUS, just looking to deny my primary. He actually managed to do, I think he got something like 12 damage on ROTIGUS, dropped him to 10, because he got like 4 wounds on him, I just whiffed every invuln. So ROTIGUS went down to 10, but ROTIGUS bopped like 3 wounds back off him or something like that, which is, you know, it's okay, but not really the point he's there for. He's just there to be a big happy distraction. And the Death Shroud do, this guy's a bit closer I think, yeah. The Death Shroud do charge into the, he didn't roll great on this one, did you, Joseph? The Vanguard Tactics dice strike again. You do kill the bloat drone though. The bloat drone does go bang, and then you consolidate into combat with the Brigand. So that's quite nice. So this Brigand can't fall back and shoot now. And they're going to be in close combat, so I need to deal with them next turn. But I mean, overall, I got quite lucky. I got away with it a little bit. Probably overexposed the Brigands a bit too early, but again, it's my first time using them. So again, we'll see this get learned lessons going forward. But he does manage to get extend battle lines because he holds this objective here, and his home is stickied. So he gets that, and containment he's got with Typhus down here and his Cultists here. So he's got max on both his secondaries there, so it's really nice. Coming into my turn 3, I've got the sticky objective here, which is nice. So I've got the, I've got another turn of primary. Unfortunately, I've lost this one here, but I'll take that. And now we're like, okay, this one's the go-to. Now this is where we are going to commit to this now. We're going to actually try and do a bit of damage here. So we send out this guy drives down here to come and see Typhus, because I want him to shoot Typhus and try and get rid of Typhus, so he's not there to do scoring. My secondaries this turn are also no prisoners and containment. So I am like, okay, no prisoners. And the go turn is kind of the 2 combo that you want. It's like, okay, I'm looking to kill stuff and I got no prisoners. This bloat drone floats back to here, steals the home objective, and starts scoring my containment on his back end board edge. This bloat drone floats over and does it on the side, so I've got max on containment. So now everything else is basically free to shoot and deal damage. Now, I buggered up here. I didn't know supply drop, home objective ain't worth nothing. I knew my home objective was worth nothing, but I thought my opponent's objective was at least worth 4 points a turn. So I was thinking, cool, I take it with these bloat drones, keep him back here, Mortarian has to come and clean it up. Nope. It's just worth nothing. So I've committed all of this here for nothing, for no reason. So oopsie daisy. Again, we are keeping Morty busy, but these bloat drones are now just completely oopsie daisy, and they should have easily come this way. To make it worse, I also commit even harder, because I'm like, okay, the Death Shroud are going to come, charge this Predator, and then they'll also sit around his home objective. Because I was thinking, cool, and then just go 4-4-4-4 for scoring this home objective. No, it doesn't work that way. So, you know, even I make mistakes, and we're gonna pay for that bit on the score. But yeah, these guys move through this terrain. They're looking to make a charge and do some mortals as well. The Plague Marines get out of the Rhino. So they go out in a way where basically move out and move up this way, so that we can just get within 8 to grenade this guy over here. So I want to be able to grenade this. They're really like spread out like a weird homunculus unit right now. It's like this. So it's a bit daft looking, but they want to grenade and melter gun this thing over here, and we also then have Typhus that can mortal wound this thing here, and then we can charge back into the the Death Shroud and try and kill them. This Brigand walks up into melter range of this Predator. This Brigand is within melter range of this Predator, and then this Brigand sort of just comes around as well, and he's looking to shoot the Plague Burst Crawler as well. The Havoc Launcher is just in range of this guy over here. And then we have the Rhino himself, just the empty Rhino now. I think he's just going to go just try and clean up the rest of these Nurglings. ROTIGUS falls back because I'm not fighting Mortarion. I can't hold the objective and I'm not going to kill him. So I fall back just to make him have to spend another turn dealing with me. So I'm heading for the home objective. I'm just being like, you are not taking home objective at all. So we start our shooting. So the Flamers shoot into Typhus. He lives on 1 wound from the Plague Bus, so didn't roll super hot there. But unfortunately, then he fails the single save to a Plague Bolter from the top, so he does actually go down. So a bit unlucky to old Typhus there. But we do get rid of Typhus. The free grenade stratagem rolls 6 mortal wounds out of 6 onto this Plague Bus Crawler, and then Typhus taps it for another couple as well. Followed then by the Brigand shooting, which obliterate this Plague Burst Crawler here. We have our let's have a look. This Brigand here shoots his melter into this Predator here, gets it through D6 plus 4 damage, and I think I roll a 5, it's like 9 damage onto that. And then all the other Gatling shots just basically finish that thing off with the other melter from this upper Brigand. So that Predator goes bang as well. So this Rhino picks up the remembrance of this Nurgling squad. So yeah, pretty brutal shooting so far. We shoot into the Death Shroud. We kill like 1 guy, but we've not, we don't kill enough because we got -1 to hit. All the Havoc launchers like severely reduce this unit down. I think he's like 2 guys left, which isn't great. Oh, he has rapid ingressed his Fat Man up here. I think it was, yeah, rapid ingress that guy. So we're not touching him yet. We're just like, okay, we're just gonna let the Fat Man exist. Or was it here? It was one of these. It was somewhere around here. We make the charge with our Death Shroud into this Predator, and this Predator also gets picked up. I mean, 6 Death Shroud plus Typhus. Pretty grim. We then charge with our Plague Marines into the Death Shroud here, and they do also manage to kill all the Death Shroud. Powered Lord of Contagion lives on 2 wounds, who then proceeds to do Lord of Contagion things and kill like 6 of the Plague Marines. And this is my problem with Plague Marines. They're so squishy. Like, I love, like, they do a lot of work, but man, are they squishy. They really, really are squishy. So this squad is now heavily, like, reduced in power. And again, it's like 300 points. So it's not exactly ideal, but yeah, there's just a lot of contagion here now. I will obviously fight first next turn because I have a Foul Blight spawn, but not exactly ideal. But at the end of our turn, our opponent basically, I think you're like that. Our opponent is not looking great, obviously. It was a really bad turn for him. He's lost basically all of his tanks. He's got Morty, he's 6-man Death Shroud Brick, a lot of contagion, like 2 cultists and a Great Unclean left to play the game. So we score on no prisoners. We score max, so we get 6 on that because we killed what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 units, 5 units because the no one says we collect 5 units in a turn. So it's pretty brutal. We also get containment because these 2 bloat drones are doing God's work. So then comes to our opponent's turn. Now our opponent gets area denial and behind enemy lines. So Morty decides to come from behind enemy lines. He's going to come and just charge this Rhino, try and kill it. and that'll put him in enemy lines. He drops his Death Shroud onto the middle point, so he drops them there, and again, they can unfortunately see all my Death Shroud, so they're going to get Flamer Bombed. Now, fun thing, did you know Death Guard stratagems have extra effects if an opponent is on an infected objective marker? Did you know, even though I'm your opponent, I infect objective markers, which means if I'm on my own objective, it is still infected. Which means if you shoot at me with +1 AP strat, you get the extra AP because I am still stood on an infected objective marker. Admittedly my own infected objective marker, but it doesn't give a shit about if it's your infected objective marker or not. Just says if they're within range of an infected objective marker. So in the Death Guard mirror, things get weird fucking quick. So yeah, having an infected objective in this game is not something you want to be near when they have more better shooting than you. But fun for us to discover. We both found out this game and we were thinking about it and we were like, oh yeah, that's weird, isn't it? So that was quite funny. The Fat Man himself walks up onto this objective here, and now it's going to become a bit of a problem because this Fat Man is very, very scary to deal with. So these guys spray away and they kill all my Death Shroud Power 1 and Typhus, so not good for me there. Mortarion has to charge this thing, and basically he goes and then pops that. But he does manage to get Area Denial because he has the unit in the middle there, and he gets behind enemy lines as well, so these two casters hop on out. It's like, woohoo, to here. So, you know, even though we've only got 3 units left, he basically still managed to somehow score maximum on his secondaries there. So really nice work on him there. So it comes to my turn. Now, at this point, Joseph also decides to take a secret mission. Now, I'm not a wizard, and I'm not a psychic, but given Mortarion is here, and my home objective is here, and I'm really struggling to kill him, because all my anti-tank is up here doing stuff, and there's a chance to kill him, but they might not. Oh, we also picked this guy up with the Plague Marines. I'm going to assume he's picked the secret mission to get Mortarion from here to here. And the panic sets in because I'm at a real risk of losing to a goddamn secret mission. Because this Fat Man over here... Yes, Dimitri, yes. Because it's still an infected... It's still a contaminated objective. It doesn't care if it's theirs or yours. It's just a contaminated objective. Really weird, right? It's so stupid. It's so weird. And I have way too much committed to his home objective because, again, I thought it was worth points. So panic is now setting in. So my turn 4, I'm like, oh god, oh lord, we need to do something to stop Mortarion now. Which is, you know, I have 2 movement turns. I have 2 turns, so he has to get from here to here. So I have 2 turns, so I have to stop him both of my turns. Which is going to be interesting. So, but really, the big problem right now is this 6-man Death Shroud Blob needs to die. So, we get the Brigand, all staring this down. The 2 Playcasters kindly ask Mortarion if he would kindly move out of the way, sir, as they move just past him. We just put ourselves within range of 1 of the Death Shroud, so we could overwatch, but only 1 will shoot us, but we can shoot both Playcasters at his Death Shroud. ROTIGUS also just kind of plops around over here, and just ready again to shoot over that way. The Death Shroud don't move, but I can obviously smite with Typhus. And I do something really stupid here, again, because I'm just not used to seeing Great and Clean ones, to be honest. I walk these Plague Marines onto this point. My whole idea was, cool, you don't half OC because you're not ROTIGUS. I will walk onto the point and steal the objective. He has a Flamer, just like ROTIGUS, and he also has a Flail, and the Flail kind of hits hard. It's 2 damage per. So I walk on there, and I end up losing pretty much most of Plague Marines. I have 1 Plague Marine in a character or something like that, and I'm not going to take this objective now. So I have just completely thrown away my OC, my Plague Marines, and not good. Now, what I should have done is I should have put a Brigand on it, because he's not going to kill a Brigand. But again, I'm stupid, and I've not played with Brigands enough at this point. It's my first game with them. I don't really think about the Brigand's OC at this point. It's not in my head. I'm not thinking about it. You'll see later on, we start to think about it in the next games. But at the moment, it's not registering the noggin. So this Brigand here basically decides, I'm going to try and shoot this Grey and Clean, why not? But really, I'm trying to shoot these guys here. So we do shoot absolutely everything into this, and we drop him to just his Lord of Virulence. So he's just got his Lord of Virulence left, just chilling in the middle. This one has towed on and took this objective, though, to be fair. And this Rhino also effed off this way because I didn't want it to get charged by Mortarion giving extra movement. Now, let me just quickly check what my secondaries were for this turn. Turn 4, I had Storm, Hostile Objective, and Sabotage. So yeah, this bloke drawn back here started doing Sabotage because, again, nothing can stop him. And Storm, Hostile Objective, I just towed onto this with this guy because, again, OC8 versus the Terminators. So I took that. So we got both of them, which is good. So my opponent moves forward. The dreaded... Oh, these cultists are fucked off behind here as well to hide. Again, they want to give charges. So Mortarion is now one step away. This fuck up here means my opponent has now held this objective at 8 points. That is such a bad mistake. Because now, my opponent, unless I kill this Great Unclean one, is going to max his primary at 20. And then Mortarion is going to fly down here and score 20 more points. And I'm going to lose by about 20 points. I'm going to lose to the secret mission. Because he's not really going to score any secondaries, but I'm going to lose to the secret mission. Which is, you know, bad. Now, he does draw this turn Overwhelming Force and Cleanse. Unfortunately, my Plague Marines, again, I walked him onto the point. So there goes Overwhelming Force, given up by the Great Unclean one, because I'm an idiot. Cleanse, he also just gives up on, because there's no point. He can't. He needs to, like, kill stuff. So he charges in and does that. Which is, you know... not great on my end. But the real problem is obviously Mortarion here. And I can obviously try and shoot Morty, but, you know, risky. So, Morty shoots, and I think Morty actually does, or someone manages to kill this, like, 2-wound bloke, this 2-wound, like, brigand. It might have been Lord of Virulence, but Lord of Virulence charges in to this brigand here. So this brigand now can't do anything next turn. He's going to be locked in combat, but he doesn't kill it. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. So it comes to my turn 5. I know I'm never going to... I can't stop this objective now. Like, I have screwed the pooch. Because if I walk on it, he scores at the end of turn, so this Great Unclean has an entire turn to kill this brigand, so it doesn't matter. The only thing that's going to keep me in this game is stopping Mortarion. So we move our brigand, this one here, down here, to shoot. And we also move these 2 playcasters forward to shoot. And we move these cultists back onto the objective to just put OC on it. Now, we need to kill Morty, or we need to stop Morty doing his thing. So what we actually do is we shoot Morty with everything, we don't kill him, we get us like 2 wounds. It's not enough though. So we charge him. We charge him with the brigand, we charge him with the casters, and we don't kill him again. We're not going to do damage to him, we just can't deal damage. This guy just move blocks this fella up here as well. But, however, in our last turn, we just double check our secondaries again. So our secondaries for last turn were Assassination and Overwhelming Force. So this brigand killed, Typhus. Someone killed this Lord of Virulence, so we got Assassination. And he was on the objective, so that was both Assassination and Overwhelming Force. The good thing that we've done here is that Mortarion is now locked in combat. Mortarion's biggest weakness is his amount of attacks. So Morty has 5 attacks on the slam. He potentially could put 3 into the brigand, 1 into each caster, and if they all hit and they all wound, he kills them all. Realistically, not going to happen. So he puts all the attacks into the brigand and kills it easily enough. The problem he has now, though, is that Morty can fall back. He can't shoot, he can't charge. I have put 6 cultists onto this objective here. So if Morty falls back, he can't shoot, he can't charge, he's OC6, I'm OC6, but it's stickied. The secondary mission says he has to control the objective, which means that is now impossible to score. So this cannot be scored. So we have denied the secret mission, just about, but he's going to get a big 15, so he's going to get 20 on primary at the end there. Now this was where it really came down to the wire. Depending on the score he got, would basically depend on what he how this ends. So he got Secure No Man's Land, which unfortunately I can't stop him doing. He's got a Great Unclean one on it here. And his other one he had was No Prisoners. Now, because he knew he couldn't do that, he's like, okay, cool, I can't physically do that. So there's no way of stopping it. He instead just kills these guys with shooting and that guy with melee. And then scores No Prisoners for that. So he gets 2 kills on No Prisoners there. And then he obviously gets Secure No Man's Land. So we're kind of up in the air on the score at this point. So we decided to check it, but it actually ends up coming out a 65-64 victory to me. Not great. Not great, but what a fucking nail biter of a game. So 1 point was literally in it between us. Denying the secret mission was the thing that made the win happen. But I made some fuck ups on my primary. My primary is terrible. I hate supply drop. Big events have dropped supply drop for a reason. It's a fucking shit mission. But Joseph did, like, for 3 models, like, when he had 3 units left, I was like, this is game. And somehow, the scrappy bastard managed to pull it back to this close. Because secret mission and me messing up with the Great Unclean one. So, he actually played it really well. And I learned a lot from this game about what to do, what not to do. And I also learned that supply drop does not give primary for holding your opponent's home objective. But yeah, excellent, really fun game there with Joseph. It was a great game, and I was just lovely to meet you as well, because you are a member of the channel. And it was just cool to chat, and hopefully you enjoyed the game as well, mate. But yeah, in the end, it was the secret mission that did cost you the game. It was potentially your lifeline, and then it eventually became your doom. So, fuck secret missions. But yeah, it was a great game, mate, and I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, real close. So, second game. We're against Votan this time. So we've got an Iron Master with Appraising Glare. So he like picks an objective, gets Grudgment tokens on it. 2 Iron Hair Champions, one of which has Ignore modifiers. Brill. 2 units of 10 Halfkin Warriors. A unit of Thunderkin with Grav. 1 unit of Chthonian Berserks with Plasma Axe. 2 units of the Terminator equivalent, the Iron Hair Half Guard. 1 unit of Infiltrators. 2 units of Bikes. So many units. 3 units of Sagittors, or 3 Sagittors. 2 with Hylas Cannons and 1 Missiles. And 2 Hecaton land fortresses. So, an interesting one. So it's quite a bit of shooting. Obviously a little bit of melee as well. A lot of T12 vehicles, a lot of toughness vehicles. But the one thing that's interesting about Votan is they really don't have imbalance. They just don't. So -1 to save in this game is going to be grim. Now the mission is Terraform as well. So let's get into this one. So as you can see. So we're playing Terraform. So there's a mission in the center. There's an objective in the center. 1 on each home. So 1 in this corner, 1 up this corner. So it's quarters deployment, by the way. And then, oh, it might be thingy to half. Yeah, sorry, it's quarter to half. So quarter to half and then quarter to half. And then there's 1 behind this ruin here and 1 behind this ruin here. So the objectives are fairly safe, part of the middle one. So it's going to come down to who can kill what, and this is when again we're going to be looking at go turns and staging and trying to get more use out of the brigands. So I put ROTIGUS in reserves again. We put put 2 bloat drones in reserves. I think put 1 bloat drone in reserves. I didn't know what to do with it. The bloat drone is the one thing I'm thinking of swapping. 1 of the bloat drones. I'll get into that after though. Everything else is on the board. Terminators in reserves. Everything else is on the board. My opponent has just the Thunderkin in reserves. Everything else for him is on the board. He's put Berserks in one of the Sagittors, and he split both of his 10-man squads into the other 2 Sagittors. So he has 2 5-mans on the board, 2 5-mans in the Sagittors, a Berserker in a Sagittor, and the Land Fortresses are carrying the Terminators with the leaders. So deployment, we start putting stuff down. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put down, I just put down some nice brigands. So again, we put them here so they can run through the terrain to here or flex out to here. So just trying to keep them as flexible as possible. So I'm going to put down my cultists at home as well. Again, I just kept using cultists at home a lot in these games because I don't really need the scout move too much. I'm not too worried about turn 1 aggression. We put down a bloat drone on the line here. I just want to go sort of harass things. We put down another brigand back here. Another brigand here. Rhino up here. This is the Plague Bus Rhino here. I think we just put this one down here like this. We didn't do too much with it, to be honest. And then Nurglings we just put down here because I don't want him to be able to infiltrate onto the objective. They're going to die, it is what it is. Can't do much about that. And the second bloat drone just joined this fella on the line. Now we had on his side, he had the Jaegers, the infiltrators, right in the middle. He had a unit of bikes up here, a unit of bikes down here. He had 1 Hecaton here, 1 Hecaton up here. This Hecaton's like that. Then he had Sagittor, Sagittor. Sagittor's up there actually, Sagittor. Another Sagittor down here. Then we had the Half King just holding home, and another 5-man sort of just chilling like around here. So scouts happen. My opponent scouts these bikes forward. He scouts these bikes down here to come get some aggression. Sagittor, 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 and that's all of his scouts done. My cultists were on the objective, just scouted behind it. Now, one thing I just got to quickly remind myself is if I went first, I think I did on this one. I always forget whether I go first or not. This is the great thing about having apps that track it all for you. My opponent actually went first, so I was at the mercy of Votan Alpha Strike. But thankfully, not much happened. Because there's not too much that can happen. This Sagittor drove down to here. This Hecaton drove to here. Just sort of chilling around. This Sagittor drove down here. These guys drove down here. This basically was... He got out a 5-man to take the objective with his Sagittor. The Nurgling's obviously going to get shot to pieces. The Jaegers just pulled back a little bit, but not much. And everything else kind of like just jiggered around a bit. There wasn't too much going on here. Now, my opponent's first turn. And my approach to this was basically just try and get some nasty contagion off, have a big go turn. And we're just going to try and terraform and stop him terraforming. Because basically, if you can get terraform off and not let your opponent... you're in a good spot, basically. So, my opponent got the absolute dream of a turn 1. Extend battle line, secure no man's land. So, done. There's 10 VP instantly. So, yeah, he moves out. He does some things. The Nurglings get shot to pieces and die. These guys, he shoots the missiles down. And the Jaeger shoot a missile and do like 3 damage to a drone. The last cannons are only 24-inch range. That's why he's not shooting last cannons, for anyone that's wondering. They're only short range Votan. So my first turn, I get extend battle lines and establish locus. So I'm not going to sacrifice something to do locus. I am not doing this. That is stupid. We're just going to give up locus. We'll take extend battle lines. This Rhino with a 10-man drives up to this wall. And then all we want to do, I just get my 10-man out. The reason I'm doing this is because, it's a bit more back, I don't want the Votan to be able to put 5 Marines onto this point. So if they want to move through the wall, I will overwatch them and kill them. So we're just going to start chilling there. And we start terraforming. Because again... I'm just not that scared of anything that's going to come through the wall. I'll flame it, I'll overwatch it, I'll murder it. The Brigands sort of get set up to sort of move through. So again, I can move for its terrain next turn. Have a bit of a go turn if I want to. This Brigand here moves to here. This Brigand pokes ahead here. Again, there's no long range shooting, so I'm not worried. We measure out the 24 from this Hecaton. The range is on both of these. And we basically say, can you get in range of these guys? We say no. So we can just put the Gatlings into these Jaegers. Now, one bloat drone floats on up here. Second one just stages. And these bloat drones basically just looking to spray off these 5 guys and then go, like, do some damage. Just be annoying. Cause chaos, be annoying. That's their entire plan here for them. So we just, this Plague Buster moves up and advances as well, just to here. Again, just looking to sort of set up stuff for next turn. That's all we're doing. Not too worried about long range shooting. Again, you want to shoot Rhino, feel free. No worries, Joe. Good to see you, man. I hope you enjoy the rest of it later and enjoy the rest of your night, mate. So we get our... We don't go for the deploy locus because, again, it's just suicide. I'm not giving up a unit for free. So we just take our extend battle lines. We shoot the Jaegers. All get picked up because 2 Gatling cannons plus flamers here. Sorry, the flamers don't even need to. The flamers shoot down here. Then they charge onto there, kills that. Unfortunately, doesn't flip the objective because Sagittors are still worth a shit ton of OC and the bikes are on it as well. But not too much actually happens here, really. I'll take that for a first turn. So, opponent's turn. This Hecaton drives up and can't get the guys out onto the point because, again, they don't want to get overwatched by that. The bikes sort of just chill up in the corner. And the Sagittor doesn't do too much either. He has on his secondaries... secure no man's land and area denial. So this Sagittor just drives into here to get area denial. Drops off 5-man. This one has the berserks in up here. So he drops another 5-man just to get area denial. Hecaton moves down. This Hecaton moves to here. Again, they're just looking to shoot these bloat drones. This Sagittor moves just here. Not too much going on. He gets his area denial and he gets secure no man's land because, again, he just takes his objective back here. He already holds it, so he gets that easy peasy. This bloat drone does go down, but that one did have a token on it, so he's going to get 2 CP next turn. But, you know, that's not the worst. Now this terrain here can't be moved through for some reason. It's like you can't move through this with infantry, can't move enough through. But you know, it is what it is, I suppose. Some strange rulings, but it is what it is. So I rapid ingress in the big man here, down in the corner. Because I'm just like, you've left me a nice big gap, and I'm going to come over here and start causing you absolute trouble. And again, it's just because I'm going to put pressure on down here. Now I've got a pincer move on it a bit. And again, I have my 10-man play marines here. I'm not too worried about up here. I'm like, okay, I can react and do stuff here. That's not too bad. And I've got the 3 brigands ready as well. So, my opponent scores pretty good on secondaries, but doesn't cause any real damage to me. So, my turn comes along. We score Overwhelming Force and Cleanse. So, like, okay, we can do that. So, ROTIGUS walks on out to here. The bloat drone comes up and round to here. And we've decided this is going to be the go turn. We're like, okay, I'm going to deal some damage. Now, I want to kill stuff. These Plague Marines move to here. Again, we're just looking to get contagion on both of these units. The Rhino comes forward, because hides actually, he's the one doing cleanse. This brigand bursts through the wall, melt a range on this guy here. This brigand backs him up, touching onto the terrain fully, so he can shoot. He's not in melt range, unfortunately, though. This brigand moves forward to here, and can get shots onto this guy, and the Plague Bus also moves up. So we've got quite a lot of shots that are going to be going off here. We also decide to bring in the Death Shroud, and they're going to pop in just at the back here. They're looking to just sort of spray off. I have Mortal Wounds set up to go into the Land Fortress, the Sagittor, this Land Fortress, all these guys. So we've got 4 options for the Typhus's Mortal Wounds to go off here. Just trying to keep those options open, which is quite nice. Now, I'm debating bringing in this bloat drone from reserves as well. It's only turn 2, so I can't bring it in anywhere over here, which is kind of sucky. I end up just bringing it here, and it kind of just like exists for the rest of the game. So again, so I mean, I always find like I'm struggling what to do with the third bloat drone. It just kind of like lingers around and doesn't do much, but you know, is what it is. But we get shooting, yeah. So we got contagion range of -1 save onto both of these here. We got contagion range onto these guys down here from this bloat drone. These guys in the middle, unfortunately, not affected. So we're going to try and focus on killing these top 2 and down here. So ROTIGUS puts his flamers, plus this bloat drone puts his flamers into the bikes. We kill all of them but the last one that's on like thingy wounds. Has 4 wounds, that one. So I'm like, okay, ROTIGUS is going to go and have a happy time bonking that after. So it's massively reduced from shooting. Now, we shoot the Melter Spear at AP6 because it's the closest target as well. So even with cover and a 2-up save, you ain't getting a save, son. He debates popping Void down, but it only gives him a 6-up, decides not to. We get double hits. We get 1 wound because it's T11 because it's near us. I command point the 2nd wound. We get that and we roll the damage, and I think we get an 8 and a 7 on the damage, so we get 15 damage on it, dropping it to 1 wound. And then the Gatling cannon manages to scrap that last wound off it. So that Hecaton goes boom. It explodes and also chunks this this vehicle here, and does it hilarious is 1 wound to a Plague Marine, does like 5 to the Sagittor because they explode D6. It didn't really matter though, because then the this fella here shoots his melter gun and manages to blow up the 2nd Sagittor anyway. So the Berserks do get out. So the Berserks come to like here. Unfortunately, I have they get like there, so out of range of my Plague Marine shooting, unfortunately, and these guys have already declared shots. So happy there so far. The sprayers plus the brigand pop that guy and pop that guy quite happily. We were mortal wounds into the Sagittor plus the brigand's Melter Spear. Kill that. The flamers kill the 5-man. The Plague Bus helps chip off the last bit of the Sagittor. So pretty brutal there. Again, this is the way I love to play Death Guard. It's all about the go turn. The go turn for me is what it's all about. ROTIGUS goes in for the charge from the rapid ingress. We put one of the damage 4 bonks into the last bike, and the rest of them just go into the Sagittor. Unfortunately, don't manage to kill it. To have a bit of a whiff there, and the Plague Marines fail the charge into the bikes over here. It is, you know, it is what it is. It happens sometimes, but we've killed, you know, quite a bit. Oh, the guys that got out, actually, that's what happened to them. I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure the Plague Marines did something this turn. The guys that got out the Hecaton got absolutely then eviscerated by Foul Blight Spawn Flamers. There are only 2 wounds each of these guys. So Foul Blight Spawn Flamers. The Gatling Cannon from this guy obviously went into them as well. But yeah, they got picked up as well. They're not having a good time. So we do get a really, really nice turn there. We get a lot of damage dealt. And again, we just had the go turn. And I tried to remember what the guy said on the podcast, which was expose everything in one turn. So now in his turn, look at what he's got to deal with. Do you want to shoot the brigands? Because then this thing's going to come charge you. And ROTIGUS is existing down here. You want to try and deal with ROTIGUS and get your objective back? Good luck, because you're going to shoot all your tank stuff into him, potentially not kill him, and these 3 brigands are going to walk forward. You're going to deal with the Plague Marines? No? Okay, cool. The Plague Marines are going to walk forward and melee and take off your home objective. There's just a nightmare scenario of too much happening at once, and I've just, in that same turn, took a load of resources off you. So, in his turn, he gets Overwhelming Force and Assassination. Now, in this turn, he manages to go for this bus here, drives down to here. It drops off the 5 half guard with all of the Vulcanite stuff, and this falls back and can fall back and shoot. And all of this here, every single squad here, shoots ROTIGUS, and ROTIGUS' biggest weakness is mass, low strength, rerolling to wound with +1 to wound, lethal hitty stuff. Because again, mass output, so 5d6 grenades plus all the Vulcanite, all sustained 2, all with +1 to wound and full rerolls to wound from the Hecaton. Does actually manage to kill ROTIGUS, unfortunately. So that is his biggest weakness. But again, it took all of this to shoot him. I am more than okay with that. These guys moved down here, and these bikes just moved and shot a bit and didn't really do anything. So all of his turn, the Thunder King came in here. They shoot at the this brigand here. Do not kill it. They do a little bit of damage to it, but they don't kill it because they just didn't get too many hits on it because they weren't marked with anything. He did have 1 token on him, but again, they've already got the Iron Master, so he's already got +1 to hit against it, so he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't get +1 to wound, so he does survive even on the anti-vehicle 2-up. AP2 and not ignores covers, not great. And he didn't get many shots because it's D6 blast, so it can be whiffy. It just happens. But he does get assassination, does get overwhelming force because he kills ROTIGUS down here. So he gets points for that, and it's not bad. But then it comes to our turn. Now we get recover assets and sorry, that was his turn. So he had recover assets and marked for engage and recover assets. What he had. So he decides to do recover assets with this squad here and this squad here. Again, I'm just gonna go kill one of them to stop that happening. And he had the other one was engage, which he obviously can't do. He's not in this quarters at all. Apologies, the where people are on the app has flipped around. So it comes to my turn 3. So I've got I'm overwhelming force and assassination. Right, this makes more sense. But ROTIGUS did still die there. So I just need to kill someone that's on objectives at this point. So these guys charge down here and kill this blow drone as well. So I'm looking to kill this squad of half guard because they're on an objective and there is a character in there. So Plague Bus moseys on over, and Plague Bus does Plague Bussy things, and this brigand also moseys on down here. These guys move forward to here. This brigand also walks forward. This brigand walks forward. The Plague Marines come against the wall. Now, Plague Bus absolutely evaporates some guys with AP4 Flamer, D3 damage, and they're only 2 wound Terminators, so it gets absolutely eviscerated instantly and gets absolutely picked up. So I do feel sorry for them, but you know, it is what happens. Then we put the spear into. I'm not really too fussed about the Hecaton. I need more commitment to that, so we just want to pick up what we can. The spear goes into this guy and blows him up because again we get a really good shot on the damage, which is really nice. Up here, this thing gets mauled by all the Plague Marines, and the double brigand also shoots off the character that was in there. So we get another double assassinate potentially. Anyway, you can only score it once, but we would have got it twice there. Now we do try and charge into the Hecaton. Unfortunately, we do fail it, which is, you know, it is what it is. Derpa, thank you so much for the donation there, mate, and the super chat. Nice little vomiting face. Thank you very much for the $20, mate. I massively appreciate it. Thank you so much, mate. That's awesome. Hope you're enjoying it. Hopefully, sort of like you're learning something from it as well, and obviously enjoying it and finding it not boring. Try and do it this visually way because people seem to like the visuals. But thank you, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate it. So we managed to get all our points there. So we got overwhelming force because again that unit was down there. And we also get assassinate and assassinate. So it comes into his turn 4. He gets defense stronghold and assassination. So that was when Rock. No, he doesn't get Cessation. Sorry, again, getting confused. He gets defend stronghold and behind enemy lines. Yeah, so he's not getting much here. Thanks, Derpa. And Laser Chicken with the 1 gifted membership as well. Thank you so much there. So if you got that membership, if you are a member, do check our community tab on the YouTube channel page. You get access to our Discord. On the Discord, we do stuff like giveaways, we get list suggestions, we get list reviews, which we do as a live stream called The Plague Surgery. So if you are interested in becoming a member, you enjoy the content, feel free to join in. It's an awesome Death Guard community we got growing. Everyone's super helpful. Everyone's sort of contributing and sort of helping each other out. We have hobby channels as well for people to sort of join in hobby things, all sorts of things like that. So if you ever consider it, it's $3 a month, I think it is. So it's like less than a Starbucks coffee. And I'm not a tyrant. If you pay once, you're in the Discord forever. I will never kick you out. Obviously, if you want to continue to support, that's more than happy, and I'm more than happy about that, and I'm super thankful for that. But if you can just become a member once, join the Discord, and I will never kick you out. Like you have supported me in some form of value, therefore you have access to the Discord. And Lazy DM come in with a 5 gifted membership. So for those 5 people, this applies to you. You guys can go and now join the Discord. And another Aiden, look at that. It's my arch nemesis though. He's spelled with an A. It's Aidan. That's a nemesis Aiden. But congrats guys for the gift membership. Now, thank you so much, Lazy DM, mate. Really appreciate your ongoing support, dude. Really appreciate it. And now more people can enjoy the disgusting. Very, very true. Very true. So my opponent basically decides he's going to charge from behind the wall into the Death Shroud because he wants the Berserk to do something. The Hecaton sort of backs up the best it can to here. And this guy's just hide, and these guys sort of come forward to try and take the objective in advance. Try and get some primary, try and get some secondaries. He shoots into the Death Shroud with the beamer. He kills a few guys. Fucking hell, Morty's Muffin Company with a 20 gifted memberships. You fucking nutter, dude. Thank you so much, guys. Jesus Christ. I have such a fucking awesome community. It's ridiculous. I really, really do. I know I say like the same thing. Like, I appreciate it. I sound like a bloody robot, but I really do mean it. Like, holy shit. Thank you so much to everyone, and especially you lazy Morty's Company and Derpa tonight. Fuck Laser Chicken. She's sat in that room. But thank you as well, Nat. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much, guys. Damn. I'm actually like... That took me back a bit there. Thank you though. Thanks, guys. Single-handedly populated. Literally, some more times we've recruited more Plague Marines than I think I have at this point. That is a true love bar, a plague of love. These guys do get into the Death Shroud, do deal quite a bit of damage. Then obviously we clap back and kill quite a lot of them. So these guys are just gonna have an ongoing scrap here. But the game is obviously basically written and done at this point. Plague Bus comes down next turn, kills off these guys. This Brigand walks into the middle. No, he doesn't. Walks into here. My Death Shroud stand back a little bit. It's gonna shoot it, and then this Brigand comes to here. This Brigand comes to here, and I'll try and get it up. I have a very funny picture of a Hecaton surrounded by 3 Brigands, and it looks hilarious because it's just being stared down. And yeah, you can guess what happens to this Brigand, and all the little chain cannon shots pick up these guys here. It's pretty much written on the wall at that point in this game, and it ended up being a 96-60 victory. So if you actually check the score there, he did really well in his secondary still. He was still scoring as much as he could get. I think he got no prisoners because I think I did Mortals and killed Typhus by accident. Killed the last of his squad, which gave him no prisoners, and like one of these was real low, and like a railgun shot killed something. But he still scored really well on his secondaries. But it was the primary domination that was really the thing there. So ROTIGUS coming in, upsetting the literally quite literally. That is what you can imagine it like. I'll try and find the picture because it did make me chuckle, that one. If I can send it onto here, I will do. Because it is honestly quite a comical picture. Let me have a look. I've got it on here. I don't want to take too much time away from it, though, if it is. So many people playing Space Marine, and it's just like spamming the chat. I'm just going to put that in there. There you go. I'll use that in a second. That's why he's on emoji in Discord. That is true, yeah. He's the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. But yeah, really this match was decided complete by primary. And again, by putting ROTIGUS at the bottom, causing that big distraction, it caused so much. And that go to him when everything came out, He basically just couldn't react to it all, and he had to commit to defend one objective, which means we could just run over the other. But because everything had to shoot ROTIGUS and kill him, we were then free to swing around and clean up house, basically. So yeah, it was a good game though, and Ewan was a fantastic opponent. We were laughing all the way through, having a good time. And you know, I want to say every opponent I had at this event was such a good sport. Even the Ewan was like getting his head caved in a bit on that one. His rolls went great. His stuff was exploding. The Melter was grim against his his no invuln army, but he was still having a laugh and we were still enjoying it. And I really appreciated his spirit there. But that does bring us to game 3. Now, I'm going to caveat this game. This is an interesting game, and it's something that when you are practicing the game a lot and you start to get to the high levels and you're looking more for practice rather than trying to win an RTT, you're going to run into people like Richard. Now, that might sound bad, but Richard was a fucking awesome opponent. This was so fun. But Richard is from Glasshammer Gaming, and I'm from VT. We're not really here because we care about the RTT win, and I don't mean that in any offensive way to anyone that is. We're here because we're practicing lists. We're trying to get used to them. And Richard was here just like I was. He was here to practice this Crusher Stampede list, the one that was ran by Nathan Roberts and did really well at a recent event, because he was practicing for teams. And I'm obviously here practicing my list for London. So when we're practicing, we have certain things in mind that we're trying to basically test our armies, learn how to play them, learn what they can do, learn what they can't do. So bear that in mind. And Richard was an awesome point. That he is so funny. We're having such a good laugh with this one. So bear this in mind. We're both wanting to practice this game. Then we get this board. Now, the mission is Scorched Earth, so you can burn an objective. There is one objective in the middle. There is one objective behind this wall, one behind this wall, one behind this wall, and one behind this wall. And the deployment's a hammer and anvil, so edges of the board. Does anyone notice, or may think, why this could be a very lame and shit game? Because what's going to happen is I'm going to drive 10 Fight First Plague Marines behind this wall, and he's going to put some Hormone stuff on this wall, and then he's going to line up his shooting, so if anyone comes into the middle, he can shoot it, and I'm going to do the same with Brigands. And then we're going to see who draws the better secondaries, and whoever draws the better secondaries is going to win the game. Because that's how this map works. It is terrible. It is awfully designed. Especially with open windows, you can't even stage in here, so it's like you can fling out to here. You have to fling all this way. It just doesn't work. It just literally doesn't work at all. It's so bad. But let me show you. I'll show you the deployment. So we deploy, and we're just like, okay, cool. We put some Nurglings here. He puts like a Lictor up top here, puts a Lictor down here. Not much is going to happen. He puts one X-Creen in reserves, one Tyrannofex in reserves, Trigons in reserves. He puts an X-Creen up here. Again, I have no long range shooting, so I can't shoot on this angle here, so he's not worried about it. He has a Biovore chilling, Pyrovores in reserves as well. He has his Swarmlord in the middle, Gargoyles in reserves. Another unit of Hormagaunts up here. He has a T-Fex down here, so it's like T-Fex, Hormagaunts. Another T-Fex up here. Again, because I can't shoot any of it. But if he comes close, he gets in Brigand range and I'll kill him because I have Brigands. He puts a Maliceptor here and a Maliceptor here. And then all this is in reserves. And I go exactly what he's expecting me to do. 10 Fight First Plague Marines in this bus up here, supported by a drone. Brigand. Brigand. Brigand, because again, nothing can shoot me. Turn 1, there is no angles at all, so I'm just going to get behind this wall here and sit here the entire game. And I go Plague Bus, because again, angles don't exist. Then we go Bloat Drone, because again, what's an angle? Because again, I just sit here, you can't shoot down this angle. It's such a bad map. And Cultists on home, and these guys are in reserves or in transports. So what happens is, we draw our secondaries. First turn, I get Secure No Man's Land and Extend Battle Lines. So basically, so not even 6 battle, it's I get something that's like 10 points for free. Secure No Man's Land and I can't remember what it is because he kept scoring this one, but it was basically 10 free points for me. It might have been containment. So I went here, got my Fight vs Plague Marines out. So cool. The only way you can flip this objective is by getting his Hormagaunts onto the point. If his Hormagaunts touch the wall, I'll overwatch them and kill the entire squad. So he can never take this off me. So again, lame. Lame, lame, lame. Then I have this bloke drones basically moving advanced to like here and here. We measured it out. He can't get an angle because of how stupidly steep it is. He has to be like here to shoot them, and he can't get there turn one. So I'm just like, cool, I'll just put them here and here. And these T-Fex is like that. The Nurglings basically just chill here. I think my opponent actually went first. Yeah, my opponent went first, so I've gone second, so I even got that advantage. So he moved a T-Fex there, he moved some things up. But again, there's no real point to him doing anything, so I move over here, do this, this, this. Brigand comes here, Brigand comes here. The reason I'm skipping this is because it really didn't matter at this point. It's just nothing is happening. Like, literally nothing is going to happen. Plague Boss moves to there. So, the only way anything can change here is if this T-Fex is allowed to stand on here. Because if he does, he can shoot this, he can threaten Brigand, stuff like that. So, we were playing this properly until my opponent knew that I knew this. Because I went, okay, cool, I charge you with Nurglings. The Nurglings don't do anything, they get heroic intervention into whatever, they survive with one model. That's all that matters, because the -1 to hit is really nice. This guy can't fall back and shoot, so he can't come on here. So, these guys die, whatever, doesn't really matter. Next turn, I'm going to do the exact same with Block Drone. I'm just doing whatever I need to do to stop this guy standing on here and shooting. And I have enough resources. Next turn, I'll do it with this guy. Because I'm going second, so last turn I can just run to the middle here and do silly things. Now, one little thing that was different, though, is he did put his Lictor onto the middle because he had area denial. So, when the Nurglings went for that first turn charge, we had a... So, get the Nurglings back on. So, when the Nurglings went for this first turn charge into this... so, second turn or first turn, I can't remember what it was. I think it was such a shit mission. It was the first turn, yeah, because he came out first turn. I charged that. I brought this bloke drone up here, and I sprayed this guy here. So I'm going second. So I sprayed the Lictor, I dropped into 1 wound, I charged him, and I killed him with melee. Now, I didn't put my bloke drone on the objective, I put him just to the side of it. Didn't consolidate onto it because I didn't want to, because I don't want to give up overwhelming force in case he draws it. The Nurglings are like, not on the objective, they're just touching the Tyrant effects at this point. Just like, okay, cool. But it didn't really matter. I just didn't want to give him double overwhelming even if they were. So, this guy just tucks in here, ready to rinse and repeat what this guy's doing next turn. And the Plague Boss will literally do the same the turn after. Now, one cool thing that did happen, and this is kind of what sealed the deal, really. This Maleceptor came round to here. The T-Fex and the Maleceptor want to kill this bloke drone. And basically the hope for him was that this Maleceptor charges, kills the bloke drone. Now Maleceptor is on the central point. Now, that one interaction there will force something to happen this game. Because I can't leave the Maleceptor there, because that Maleceptor is going to get primary. And that means I have to expose a Brigand. And then when I expose a Brigand, then the T-Fex can start shooting and the game actually happens. I know that if I stop this, and I hold this primary in the middle for at least 1 turn, game's over. I have already got a way better to turn 1 secondaries. And I'm going second in the mission, so I can score easier later on. So I rapid ingress ROTIGUS on the other side of the objective. So what this means is even if he charges, kills this guy, he then consolidates onto the objective. He's OC 6 or 5. I think he's 6 because he's full health. He gets +2 OC. ROTIGUS is OC 6. But what is ROTIGUS' aura do? It halves OC. So it doesn't matter. This Maleceptor will be OC 3. And then I will hold the objective. And that's all that matters. So he shoots a T-Fex because it's the only thing that can get line of sight. I pass 1 in 1, fail 1. Command point reroll it, pass the 2nd in 1. Cool. This guy lives. Bloke drone's dead. So bloke drone goes bang. But now I've held primary for a turn. I'm now 5 points up on primary as well. It's like, okay, cool. So what happens at this point is we have a discussion and we say to each other, right, does anyone actually care about winning this event? Not really. We have a practice. We want to learn what our armies can do. I should, and this is one thing I want to teach you guys, in theoretically right now, you should be playing the defender because you have all the advantage. You've scored better secondaries. You're going second. You've just secured a primary advantage because of this one play. You should at no point here be pushing. The only thing that should happen next turn is ROTIGUS tussles with this Maleceptor. Maybe you try and kill the Maleceptor. Maybe you bring this guy comes through. So this die. He comes, ties this thing up again. This thing moves down, ready to do it next turn. The Brigand's again stage. If you really wanted to, you could have a Brigand come here and shoot the Maliceptor. But you wouldn't even risk that because the T-Fex shoots you back. That's what you should do. But we don't do that because, we're here to actually learn something. So what I say to my opponent when we come to an agreement is, we don't care about the game. It's whatever. I'm going to limit test. I'm going to full send my entire army at you right now. And I want to see what you can do to me and what I can do to you. So, that's exactly what we do. The Plague Marines get back inside the Rhino. The Rhino drives through and through here. We bring in the Terminators here. ROTIGUS walks on forward. This Brigand pops through the wall. This Brigand pops through the wall. This Brigand moves up to like here. And this Plague Bus is ready to rock as well. And this guy just takes over the objective here. Now, my opponent, Rapid Ingresses, he was debating it. I think he ends up just bringing in like the Paravos for his scoring. No, I didn't Rapid Ingress anything this turn. Oh, is it this? It might be a T-Fex down here for next turn, yeah. He charged into this T-Fex. Now, again, we're limit testing. So I shoot the melter guns on what I can up here. I think the Foul Blight Spawn and the Flamer pick up this Lictor here. We shoot everything we can into this Maliceptor here. And he dies, which is fine. And then that's it. And the Havoc launchers we pick up like this unit of Hormagaunts. So the point is, for me, I have exposed pretty much my entire army. And I want to see what happens if I expose my entire army to this Tyrian player. What can the Tyrian player do to me? Because again, that's going to inform me when I go to London, whether I should be making plays like this or not. Again, it's not about winning this event at this point. It's about learning and seeing what I can do. And he's going to learn how much damage his army can deal. So his turn comes along. He brings out his second Exocrine up here. His Paravo comes in down here for some scoring thing like that. He brings in some Gargoyles here. And the Trigon in my home field, okay? Is whatever it is. He shoots. So he shoots and he wants to kill this. Now, this Rhino can't be shot by this T-Fex just because of the angle. And again, it can't fall back and shoot. So this guy shoots this this Bloat Drone, does kill it. Now, he shoots up at this Rhino. I pop smoke because obviously. And he whiffs on his first shot. And then he whiffs. He hits the second shot. Fails the wound roll. Command points it. And unfortunately, one goes into a 1. So it's like, that's unlucky. These X-Screens up here try and shoot him as well. So these X-Screens up here shoot as well. And they don't actually crack the Rhino because even though they have heavy, I then pop Cloud of Flies as well as smoke. So it's -2 to hit, +1 to hit. So it cancels that out. So he lives as well really nicely. Oh, actually, this T-Fex is dead. I forgot. The Melter Spear from these two connected to it. Plus the Mortals from Typhus also got onto it. Plus, I think, ROTIGUS like 2 Dev Wounds. And the 0 out damage on a T-Fex doesn't work versus the +4 damage. So you can 0 out the D6 damage from this one, but you can't 0 out the +4. So minimum it's 4 damage off the 0'd out shot. Now, this Rhino tanks all of this X-Screen shooting. He goes down to... he does die, but he dies at the end of the second X-Screen shooting. So these Marines are now out and exposed. I take 1 mortal wound from disembarking, but nothing else is there to shoot them. So that is more than fine. So we have lost a Bloat Drone and a Rhino from 2 T-Fex, because again we used this Bloat Drone to protect the shooting, so we controlled this T-Fex here. The second one, unfortunately, whiffed. Probably should have at least done some damage to it. Good chance of killing it. But again, if he shoots the Rhino and kills the Rhino, we've still got all this that's not being touched. So exposing the Rhino and losing the Plague Marines, it's fine as long as the rest survives. The fact it didn't is like nightmare scenario for opponent. And again, look how much we've exposed. So our turn, ROTIGUS walks on forward, flames away the Gargoyles. Brigands move up. Now we're going to see what Brigands can do. These guys move up. They're Melter Guns plus free grenade plus all that goodness. Shoot into the X-Cream, weaken it. And then Brigand one-taps that one. The second Brigand actually went down this way to back up ROTIGUS. The Plague Bus drove over. This Brigand came back. Because again, you walk through all these fucking walls because the terrain was weird. To shoot this Trigon here. Derpa again with a 20. Fucking hell, dude. Thank you so much, mate. You're actually insane. That's $40. The fuck? What the fuck, man? Oh my god. Thank you so much, mate. Oh, God. You wild bastard. Thank you so much, man. Smoke, and they do stack for -2 to hit, but it only works because he has a +1 to hit. So you can't stack someone naturally at -2 to hit unless it's weapon skill, ballistic skill modifiers. But because he stood still with his exocrines, they were +1 to hit. So they hit on 2s. Then my smoke took them back to 3s, and the cloud of flies took them back to 4s. So they're still only total is -1 from their original hitting on a 3. But that's why it works, because they negated his +1 basically. So this Trigon, we shoot this Trigon, we don't kill it, unfortunately. The Trigon did make the charge. I think, oh no, it didn't. We wounded it, but didn't kill it. And then it makes the charge next turn. They make the charge. We make the charge up here and down here. ROTIGUS does bop one of these things left to dead. Yes, I am stacking it to negate the +1. Yeah, I don't need any more models, Aiden. Are you sure, Derp? Are you sure? So he goes down. The brigands come through. That we put the flamers from the squad down into these gaunts as well as we passed by. Just say goodbye to them. Now, my opponent moved up with stuff here. In his turn, because again he's trying to see what damage he can do. The X screen fell back. And again, this is the problem I have with Plague Marines. The Plague Marines now fall over super easy. Like, they get charged by these two, and the entire unit basically gets absolutely wiped out. And it's such an expensive unit. It does do work. You saw it in both in this game and the previous game. They do work, but they are such a fragile unit to play with. This T-Fex fires into this brigand, just pops it instantly and kills that one because D6 plus 6 damage is funny. The Trigon does charge to my home objective. He does whiff a lot of the attacks, and I think 4 cultists actually live, which is quite funny. Oh, this thing died to something random. I can't remember if it was smite or mortal wounds or something. But at this point, this objective is now also been stolen by ROTIGUS because his half OC aura is kicking in. The half OC aura against anything that's monster mashy or vehicle spammy is fucking insane. Like, I didn't realize how good it was until I played in these games with ROTIGUS, because denying this kind of thing is just nutty. It's absolutely wild. So ROTIGUS denies all this primary again, and again opponents just falling behind. And again, we're not too worried about scores. We're just still testing damage. My brigand walks up here. Again, I just popped the X-King, so I'm just like, yep, get out of here, you. And we put the Gatling down into the Biovore, kill that. He's going to be stuck up here dealing with this, because if he doesn't, this guy walks onto his home objective. So he has to come and deal with this with these two, which keeps him away from the middle. We started doing Scorched Earth, burn here. This guy walked around the back, finished off the Trigon, and basically the T-Fex is stuck in combat with ROTIGUS, and a Plague Bus stood nearby, which can also get guys out to flame. So, in this game, basically, we just limit tested. We shouldn't have done this, but this is what we did, because we wanted to see what we could do at the end of it. So, even though this brigand dies again, just remember what you do with it. We distracted, we pulled him away, and now I've burnt this objective, we can just fuck off at this point. Like, we're going to get loads of primary. He's not going to hold anything. We're still going to hold home because he just walked onto there. We've took this off him. Maybe the T-Fex kills them, maybe he doesn't. It doesn't really matter as long as we denied the primary. But it ended up being an 83-48 victory because of this. Now, the reason I didn't go into as in-depth on the secondaries and stuff in this one is because it didn't matter. We weren't playing around secondaries. We were seeing what our armies could do to each other, because we wanted to see what to expect. And again, it affirms to me that this army, if you expose it all at once, is extremely scary, extremely hard-hitting, and quite hard for people to deal with, because if they shoot the wrong target, the rest of them are going to punish you super hard. So the brigands, even though they were exposed, weren't being shot as much as long as I put stuff like Death Shroud, ROTIGUS, or the Plague Marines in someone's face. So and again, if they shoot the brigands, that's fine, because all those things then get to charge and go and do stuff. So I learned quite a bit from this game, and it was awesome. We were doing stupid things like he went to shoot his Tyrannofex on an Overwatch, and I was like, oh wait, before you do that, I picked up his model and 360'd it, and I was like 360 no scope, and then he banged a 6 to hit, which was quite funny. And then I went to shoot my brigand when the Swarm Lord moved over to charge him up there, and I was like, I'm going to Overwatch, and he picked up my brigand and 360'd it and went no scope, and I rolled double 1. But it was such a fun game. But you will do that sometimes. You will instead play a game to learn rather than playing it to win. Because I didn't think I was going to win the event because of my first game score only getting 65 points. But somehow we managed to do it. Apparently this third game here timed out, which is a bit unlucky. But it did mean that, hey, we got to do the first place, so we'll take that. But what did we learn from this? We definitely learned that brigands are good. My hatred for brigands is because they're not Death Guard, but I can't deny they're good. They were very, very good. Hitting on 2s is super nice and reliable, and when it connects with such damage, it can just like one-tap vehicles, which is really, really nice, whereas Predators just whiff all the time for me, and the AP on them is just so ridiculous. The Gatling cannon also does tons of work into like infantry, and even when you shoot tanks, the Gatling cannon often rips off like 3 odd wounds, because again, it's like AP 3, wounded on 5s, but you hit on 2s, so it's like 10 hits, 4 wounds, AP 3 each of them, you have fun. So it's still really good. This list really likes the go turn. Anyone that's listened to any of my stuff, that is exactly how I play. It gels so well with how I enjoy playing the game. It's having the big go turn where I'm just going to try and break my opponent's back. And this list plays it really, really well. So I'm super happy about that. So it makes me excited to play it. Unfortunately, I didn't miss Plague Bus Crawlers. The change to indirect has made them super unreliable. The 2-up save is really nice. But being 180 points as well, now understanding why people are taking brigands, because the brigands are just so much more reliable and efficient, even if they are squishy. Now, great question from Baliandor in chat. Wouldn't it be good to bring a Hellbrute to give the brigands our rule without exposing anything? That's potentially interesting and maybe something worth looking at. Again, the big problem being that they're quite expensive and fragile, but at the same time, if we do the same rule of potentially exposing everything at once, are they really going to be shooting the Hellbrute? So maybe. The third drone is my question. I kept finding the third drone. I didn't know where to put it. I was like, where do you go? I put it in reserves and I just come and do nothing. So I'm thinking maybe swapping out the third bloat drone for another unit of 5 Plague Marines just to go in the Plague Bus, so we return some of that utility to the Plague Bus where it can just shoot out 5 guys and flip an objective. But at the same time, maybe Baliandor, maybe we can try and find 40 points. Maybe we're trying for that Hellbrute in. Maybe. We'll see. Because again, you could maybe drop down one brigand into a Hellbrute, one brigand down to a Carnivore, then you get a Hellbrute. But at the same time, that's like, is that then counterproductive? Because the whole reason you bring in the Hellbrute was for the brigands. Swings and roundabouts. Hugh James, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. What's this rumor I keep hearing about a glass ceramic miasmic? Oh, for God's sake. The ceramic miasmic malignifier plague bong being the giveaway prize for 10k sub. You know what? If we can find someone that is willing to make it, I will make that as a giveaway prize. If we get to 10,000 subs, which is, still a far way off, but I will happily, stupidly, make a goddamn plague bong and send it to someone. Obviously not for use of any illegal activities. It's just an ornament to put on your shelf. We don't condone illegal activities on this channel, obviously. TLDR, company speech. But yeah, maybe, Hugh. Maybe. But as an ornament, as a vase on your shelf. So it's not a plague bong, it's a plague vase, okay? We have to remember that. It's nothing to do with terms and conditions. It's just being correct. But yeah, I think that's potentially something I'd change out in the list. But it is an incredibly good list. If you haven't tried it anyway, if you haven't tried it, give it a whirl if you have access to it. If you are upset because it kind of sucks to see having to rely on allies, I totally understand that. I am the same. But I will be covering some lists next week. Well, it might be this weekend, coming from the previous week's results. And we do have an interesting pure Death Guard list doing well, which is, like I said, very heavily on vehicles. So maybe there is hope there. But we're still yet to see a Death Guard player break the 4-on-1 barrier. We're still kind of sat at the 4-on par. Grant, who did it with this list. Yeah, Roti's so fun. The 4 damage bonk is also hilarious. Like, just, 2 damage sweep. 2 damage sweep is really underrated. Having a 2 damage sweep is crazy good versus like Marines and stuff. But overall, I'm really happy with it. I'm super looking forward to take it to London. I think this is going to give me like a decent chance of getting that 4-1. Trying to redeem myself after Leeds. So 3-2 really bothered me quite hard. Hopefully we dodge some Hypercrypt, especially, the best players in the world with Hypercrypt. Hopefully we can dodge that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But that's pretty much it. That was the event recap. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, sort of learnt maybe something, maybe just enjoyed hanging out and talking about stuff. Any questions in the chat, feel free to hit them up. One thing I did want to say, because I actually was in regards to Discord, if anyone privately messages me on Discord, like a straight direct DM, I don't get notifications for them. So I will quite often miss your message, and then I will be told by someone, hey, I've messaged you, and I open up and I've got like 10. And I'm really, really sorry. The best way if you want me to get contact or want me to check a DM is to ping me in the Discord, in our Discord channel. Ping us in that and say, hey, Aiden, check your Discord. Because I don't get notifications, because I've got a lot of messages in there, which I found out earlier today, which I'm going to reply to. I do apologise. It's my fault. I'm bad at keeping on top of stuff like that, but I'm gonna reply to you all. I do really mean my apologies on that one. I just don't get the notifications for message requests, because we're technically not added as friends on Discord. It's really annoying, but I will reply to all of you on there. The reason I say that is because I had a message from a fella, I think it's Cranky Krogan, regarding like my 3-2 and feeling a bit down about it, which was really nice to hear. Like, again, everyone in this community is really supportive and really nice, and again, I'm gonna make sure I reply to these messages and try and give back a bit more, because it's just a bit hard at the moment, because I just don't see the notifications, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, is anyone sort of going to London? Any events soon? I will be in London, so I'll be looking forward to if anyone is there. I'll be, feel free at any point to come and say hello. If I'm mid-game, I don't mind. I'm more than happy to say hello, and, have a bit of a chat. So feel free to come along. Part of that, anything else coming up recently? I've got another Assembly to Annihilation I'm working on, which is all about people going to their first tournament and what to expect, what to take, what to prepare for, and setting goals. So that'll be coming up. I need you guys to also let me know what's the next perfect Plague 4 that you want to see. So that's the one where we look at faction-specific matchups and have a video all about how to beat that faction. So you guys let me know. We're only going to go with armies that have books, because I've been bitten before where I've done without a book and they announced the codex. Well, that's not fucking happening, is it, for 6 months, I suppose. But it just helps me know what you guys want, basically. But I think that's about all I've got for tonight, really. So yeah, unless anyone's got any questions in the chat, I'm probably going to wrap up there. I'm going to go and maybe play some Space Marine 2 or something like that. Vase, yes. For flowers, yes. For the Garden of Nurgle, yes. Quite so. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for tuning in to another event recap video. Stream. Not even a video, it's a stream, dumbass. Hopefully we'll catch you all. The next one will probably be the London one, to be honest with you, because I've not got any events planned till London now, which is only, 2 weekends away now. So, next weekend and the one after, and that's it then. So, that will be quite interesting to see how we do. And maybe we're going to aim for that 4-1 again, get back to there. Who knows, maybe we even get lucky and strike a 5-0. Who knows. I'm also playing the doubles event on the Friday as well, because we've got to go down very early just to get there on time. So I'm playing on the doubles and then the singles GT. So I could run into you at either or if you're playing either or. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'll leave it there because my throat's getting a bit sore. It's hard when you're on your own because you're talking constantly. I don't know how people do streams for like 6 hours straight. Maybe I just talk too much and need to shut up, which is not surprisingly something I get told a lot. Mainly by Nat. Who said bonk? Nat, no. Vase. Not a bong, it's a vase, a vase, an ornament. But yeah, thank you so much again, guys, for tuning in. I will catch you all on the next one. I'm going to go chill out, play some World of Warcraft or Space Marine 2. If any, by the way, we do play with viewers as well. If people want to do some operations at some point, let me know. I do enjoy them. I will say, though, I do enjoy the hard difficulties. The challenge is the fun for me. I am very much Dark Souls enjoyer. I like bashing my head against the wall. So if you guys want to join in, message me in the gaming channel on the Discord. Me and Mikey Way and Zito have been playing recently. And so yeah, we're more than happy to have more people join and join on the fun. But for now, everyone, I am going to head off. Thank you so much for all the donation and love tonight. I really appreciate it, because as I said at the start of the stream, my boiler broke, so that's actually all going to be extremely helpful to get me to get that sort of fixed for winter. So you guys are actual legends. But for now, good night, everybody. I shall catch you all on the next episode. Stay rotten, everyone, and we will speak to you again very, very soon. Good night. Take care.